You're not.
Okay, it's 4:30. Let's open the meeting of the Duval County Council. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we got a quorum tonight, and we'll start out here with the minutes of the meeting on October 27th that were sent out. Is there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none or seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of October 27th.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Meredith has made a motion, second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
You sign both sets.
Okay. Okay, think first on the agenda, Levi, engineer. So if you want to introduce yourself and
Yes, good afternoon, County Engineer Levi Lefferts. Started off right this time. The last time I think I said good morning, so. So I'm here to request some additional appropriations in the amount of $650,000 out of the CUNY Bridge Fund. We've got a line item already created called Bridge number 78, 600 West. So this bridge was built in 1969. It's a 222-foot long bridge. So this is one of our largest bridges we have in the county. It's 56 years old, and we've done little to no rehab work on that bridge in that 56-year time frame. So over the past year, it's been in the works. The design has. American Structure Point has been preparing the plans and contract documents to go out to bid to award it to a contractor to do the rehab work. Rehab work is going to consist of a rigid deck overlay, hydro demo, semi-integral inlet conversion. In simple, it's going to extend the life of the bridge, and it's a lot cheaper than having to replace it. That'll cost millions of dollars. So given the size of the bridge, its age, it's definitely due for this work. The plans and contract documents are about 95% complete. The goal is to get the funds approved tonight for it. Advertise it out for bidding the month of December or the first half of January, and then try to get this awarded sometime in February with work to start sometime in March to summer 2026.
How long would a project like that take?
Just 2 to 3 months. There's not a good detour around there either. This is where Division Road turns into 600 West right over Patoka River. So it'll be a pretty big impact to the traveling public. We'll try to minimize that closure time, but it does take some time. It's tedious work, it's slow, and it's a full closure. So yeah, $650,000 is what I'm asking for with your approval. Got any questions on it, let me know. Be here to answer.
I don't think I do. Put it up for the council. Anyone else? It's pretty well self-explanatory. I think you mentioned everything that I had questions on. So if any other questions, I guess I'll entertain a motion to, that's a transfer of
No, it's an additional.
additional
It's been
appropriation.
advertised.
Okay.
I'll
So,
make the motion.
okay, Doug has made a motion. May I have a second?
I'll second.
And Ryan has seconded. So further discussion. Otherwise, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you for.
Thank you all.
coming this evening.
Hopefully, make it to Christmas.
Yeah, yeah, have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
You too.
Okay, I guess it's my turn. I have an additional appropriation of $50,000 for jail medical. Sheriff talked about it when he was here.
Okay.
Maybe you didn't, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think we do, but I just wondered, there's no other additional information that came out on that, so I mean, that's gonna be, so I guess we'll make the motion for the additional, strictly for the 50,000, right?
Yep,
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion unless there's questions or,
I'll make that motion if no questions.
okay.
I'll second.
So we got a motion from Dina and a Meredith has seconded. Further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I have another additional in the general fund under the commissioners for workers' comp insurance, 29,000, and vehicle insurance, 1,000. So 30,000 total. Our workers' comp, we got our audit back, and we owe them money. So next year, we're going to increase that line item over what we budgeted. We're gonna have to do it because we already know it's gonna be too short.
So, questions or discussion on that? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to approve the $30,000 additional appropriation. Workman's comp and vehicle
I'll
insurance.
make that motion.
Okay, Ryan has made a motion. I have a second.
I'll second.
Sonia has seconded. Discussion? Otherwise, all in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed?
The next is in the general fund under the ambulance. I think Brian Young was here to talk about $10,000 for ambulance repairs.
Yes. Discussion on that, or otherwise, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the $10,000 additional appropriation for ambulance.
I'll make that motion.
Ryan has made a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Dina has second. Further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed?
Okay, and the Lit Ed Fund, $60,000 for the HR wage study with Wagner, Irwin, and Shield.
Okay, I think the commissioners went through that, I heard, and they approved it, and they were gonna sign it pending tonight's approval. So,
I have it, and I'm not allowed to date it until you guys approve it.
so you have, okay. So discussion on that. Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to approve the $60,000 for the wage study.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, Ryan has made a motion, Meredith has seconded. Further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed?
The next one is out of the Lit Ed Fund, $257,500 for the auditor and Turner Financial Software.
For the contract for Lau Associates.
With Lao, so Lao, yeah.
Okay, any question or discussion on that? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve that $257,500.
I'll make that motion.
Ryan has made a motion, I have a second.
I'll second.
Sonia has seconded. Discussion? Otherwise, all in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed?
Okay. Under the Cum Cap Fund, $29,081, so we can upgrade the wireless access point. The commissioners have approved it pending your funding. The courthouse has some dead spots, and so this is gonna fill those dead spots, and it's gonna replace the ones in all the other buildings as well, because they're coming into life next year.
So will this, I'm sorry.
You said it was $29,089?
81.
So does that affect this building?
Mhm.
So we could get better service in here possibly. Okay.
Hopefully. But we really have some dead spots. When we put it in the courthouse back in the day, we only put it in the courtrooms because the prosecutors needed,
The transcription.
and lawyers for their machines, when they brought in their Surface Pros or whatever. Well, since then, new equipment, printers, laptops, they all go wireless now, and we just don't have the coverage over there that we need. So,
Makes sense. Does anybody, you need any other discussion on
so they
that?
did a survey to see what's, so you can see it on the maps that I sent you, so.
I think it was brought up a couple times in the commissioner meeting and you had done the study and I think you sent pretty factual information on what we need there. So otherwise, any discussion, otherwise I'll entertain a motion to approve that $29,081 additional appropriation.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Ron has made a motion and Meredith a second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
I have a transfer for the pretrial diversion for the prosecutor. She wants to take $957.64 from capital outlay equipment and move it into promotional items, other services.
Okay. Anybody got questions on that discussion? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to transfer that $157.64.
I'll make that motion.
Brian has made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Dina has seconded. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I did send you out the 1782 notice on our budget. I reviewed it, I reviewed it with Mike. I found no changes were necessary. It was due today, so with Mike's approval, I sent it off, so I just wanted to bring you guys to get on the loop of it. So,
Thank you. I reviewed it. I couldn't see anything. I kind of matched it with the budget, so. So then, do we, you had discussed, I guess the things I have here is, let's start out here with the appointments. I think I made some calls there, and I think this is what the people outside the council here, that they agreed to go ahead to serve another term. So I guess I was gonna ask the council, Doug, you're on the 911, is that okay to serve another year? Okay, and then, does anyone else want to be on the Area Development Corporation? I've been on there quite a few years, but no one has, they usually have their meetings at 11 o'clock on quarterly, I think, and then some other meetings, so it's kind of tough. I always try to make them, so, and be involved in it, so if that's okay, I'll serve another year. And then Meredith on the Region 15. You're okay with that?
I am.
And then Sonia, you okay?
Yes.
Okay. So the only real change here is on the PETA board, Greg Abel. He had to switch some things around, so not everybody would get off the tax abatement board there, and he agreed to serve 2 years. So we'll make these appointments in December, December
the next
meeting.
meeting,
Yes.
December 15th.
So that's okay with everyone? And then I think Sandy, the auditor, had spoke with me about the shortage of the health insurance funds. So could we kind of discuss that a little bit, and see what we can do here?
I called Mike. Our health insurance fund, you guys gave me another $500,000 last week. Friday, I had to send it out, so I have no more money for December. So I'm gonna have to have an additional to be able to fund the rest of the year, because in December, we know people go to the doctor because their deductibles are high. And it costs me at least $98,000 for our fixed costs. So I know I'm gonna have that for December already. And I don't know what claims are gonna be out there, so I asked Mike if maybe I can advertise for another $250,000. Now, hopefully, we will be getting some specific insurance. People who are over 80,000, we get some of that money back. Now, we got a lot of that money back beginning of November because our plan year ends October 31st. I'm not banking on getting any more back, but I'm hoping that we do get some.
In past years, Steve, was 250,000 do you think will suffice from previous years' numbers?
No, you tell me how sick people are gonna be, I can tell you, I can't, I mean, it's an estimate.
So if we feel comfortable with that, I mean, does anyone have any discussion on, we just need a consensus tonight, right?
To advertise.
To
I
approve.
guess in theory, just making sure it's enough, because we'll be, you know, if it's not enough,
Then do we find ourselves at
Yeah.
mid-December, do we have to go through it
Last year's
again if
year
we,
before, is that
you know what I mean?
something aligned with
Like,
that?
what's the
Well-
worst case?
I never know till claims, and I asked the insurance company, I asked them, can you tell me what's in the pipeline? No, we cannot tell you till we pay the bill.
Got it.
And then they tell me, hey, I need this amount of money, so then I have to give it to them.
Can you do a quick look back on last year, just to compare, and I know there's no guarantees, but I was just wondering if I the ballpark.
I can't, because you just never know. You can think the worst case scenario and nobody claims anything, or you can
Right.
think, I think this amount, and then something comes up that I have no idea is out there.
I just didn't know it was last December, you know, just for a.
Hard to know. I mean, it's just hard. Being self-funded and self-insured, it's hard to know. I just don't know what cases are out there that we don't know about. I mean,
And you don't, and she doesn't have, you don't have access to that kind of information, so I mean, it's kind of.
Well, I was just looking at our finances last year to see what we paid over and above what our monthly would have been.
well, it's your claims. I mean, we could, God forbid, have somebody with a heart attack tomorrow and it could be a huge bill. I don't know what's.
Oh, yeah, and I don't.
Yeah, you just don't know.
what happens if it's not enough?
So then I'll do another additional for that December 30th meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
And it sounds like it makes sense based on the fixed costs at the 98 and shooting
Yeah.
upward above something, so.
Yeah.
And then if we don't use all of that,
Then it's gonna stay there.
then it sticks there. Okay.
I mean, last year, we had the ARPA money that we spent $1 million out of, so we had that cushion.
Yeah.
I don't have that this year.
That's right.
Any other discussion, otherwise? All in favor of advertising for 250,000 insurance premium? It's like a total consensus, so. And then, the last thing I'd like to do is set maybe, you know, the years of encroaching on us pretty fast, that maybe set the first quarter of the 2026 meetings. If we could do that, then we could plan for, you know, different things. So again, in January, I was thinking of January 26th, Monday, for the first meeting at
We'll be out of
4:30.
the country on that week.
You will be,
I will be, for certain. Sorry.
okay, so,
Understand my teeth.
so what about then? The problem is the 19th is probably a holiday.
Could you do it on the
Yeah.
20th?
I'm not that week.
What about the 12th?
Well,
It's
Yeah.
way too early.
Is it too early?
The thing is, if you get too early, they're changing how we do additionals next year. We have to, instead of going to press
I am.
and advertise, we have to put them on Gateway so many days before the meeting, and that's gonna be considered advertising. So we don't have instructions for that yet.
You're out the whole week of the 19th.
I know. I'll be on the stage.
So we're gonna have to, I guess we almost got
Mayor.
2 weeks.
Paper, rock, scissors.
I know.
So we want to.
Is this one of those situations where we don't want to do it too soon that,
So the 12th.
I don't think anybody ever misses meetings, but I mean, do we have to
The-
choose between one or?
Like I said, they don't have the instructions on how we're gonna advertise additionals. And we always have some in January because of the substance abuse countermeasure money. It's not called substance use anymore, whatever their name is, ARC. I don't have instructions, so I don't wanna say, yeah, we can do it, then I can't advertise because they don't have them out yet. So that's why I don't wanna go too early in January.
So, I mean, we could, it doesn't matter. I mean, I guess we could go set it for the 12th. I mean, I don't know what else to do. If we're gone the last 2 weeks, then we don't have much choice here, do we?
Could
we do later the week, in that week?
Which-
Would that work with,
So at least
like,
you're,
does it have to be on Sunday to give you a few more days?
Like I said, I think we're gonna have to, what I've been told is, you're gonna have to tell Gateway 15 days before a meeting. I've heard 15 days, I've heard 14 days. Right now, we just have to advertise at least 10 days. So I don't know, I don't want Gateway not to be up and then us not be able to do what we need to do. And I don't know when that's gonna be up.
Well, that's a dilemma. So we're gonna
It
have
is.
to, one of you gonna have to rock, paper, scissors, I guess. Because I don't know how we're gonna do it otherwise.
I think, Ryan, didn't you say you were out that last week?
I'm out the
also?
26th as well.
Okay, so we have 2 out on the 26th and 19th or whatever.
The 19th is a holiday.
But you could do it on the 20th, right?
20th or 21st. Then we wouldn't have two meetings the same, because the commissioners are gonna have it on probably
They will have it on the 20th.
the 20th, so we could do it on the 21st. So you want to set it for the 21st?
sure.
And then,
And I'm assuming 4:30.
yes. And then in February, the 23rd. Does that work for anybody or everybody? February 23rd. That's a Monday, 4:30.
Good with me.
Good. March, the 23rd. If that's okay.
That's the local spring break. I don't
No,
know.
we're out of town that
I was
week.
gonna say, that's the local spring break.
30th,
30th works.
March 30th.
I might be out.
Schedules.
I'm not on the same spring break as you.
Pardon me?
I'm not on the same spring break as you.
Okay.
30th, so am I, if it needs.
See what Doug, if he's
Sure.
free. Because the 23rd, when you say spring break, then it's gonna be the whole week, technically, right? Okay.
Are you leaving or you just want to be home with the little ones?
We're going out cruising.
I will be out the 23rd.
Put-
Yeah.
put-
I'll be on the 23rd.
So it sounds,
30th
the 30th
is
works
good.
okay then?
30th week, yeah.
Oh, good,
So 30th,
awesome.
okay.
Just gonna try and set the first few months.
I thought the first 3
Yeah,
months.
that's great.
First quarter, and then we could,
Sounds good.
And you said January was the 21st?
yes, January 21st, February 23rd, and March 30th.
Perfect.
That's okay with everybody, we'll just at least set it up that way.
Well, thank you all for the flexibility on January, I appreciate that.
So I guess public comment.
Sure, you guys are pretty popular. Everybody must be online. Hi, my name is Chris Tin. It's coming today in reference to Mid-States Corridor and trying to understand the position of the council or each of the individuals on the Mid-States Corridor. From my perspective, our family does own a farm that is affected, so that is in a position that comes near and dear to my heart. But when I found out about the routing, maybe a year ago, I started doing research on the project itself, try to understand what was happening. Longtime resident of Jasper, of DuBois County, supporter of many things in the county. And as I did the research, I started to be concerned about impact to the county. Dug in a little more and found out that many of our elected officials were not really aware of the project to the details that should be expected, or at least I would have thought that were there, much less the public. So I started going to a couple meetings. There's a group called Stop the Mid-States Corridor. There's a group called Property Rights Alliance. There's also another group now that's, I can't remember, something update, Mid-States Update or something like that, that has created, they have various missions. Stop the Mid-States Corridors, basically a pretty aggressive group trying to say, we don't want the Mid-States Corridor. The Property Rights Alliance really seems to be focused on educating the property owners that are directly and nearby the corridor. And the Mid-States Update Group seems to be more about presenting facts to the public and trying to get the message to the public about what is being contemplated. As you know, the council, the city of Jasper, the city of Huntingburg, as well as some number of private businesses, you can't really see that if you do the research, did contribute to the RDA, which you guys are all members as sponsors of the RDA. And of late, more data has come out about this road and how it's going to be constructed and the impact that it's going to have. There was a report published by Lockwood that talks about details. NDOT has been down here, I think, several times. Last time was at the county commissioners meeting. There was a representative there. So in discussions with a few other people, I don't know if anybody's come to this group and talked about the Mid-States Corridor or asked for your positions on the Mid-States Corridor. So that's why I'm here. I didn't think I'd be the only one in the room today, but or I would be the only topic. But I am curious to hear positions. A $1.1 billion road, 24 miles, 47 million dollars a mile, 9 J turns, which cuts the county in half, east to west, impact on travel time in the county. There are some benefits. I'm sure there is going to be a minor impact to the traffic that would be in Jasper. It's not going to take all the trucks off the road, but there will be some benefit. There will be some travel times that are better. If you're in the north and want to get to the south, you'll be able to get on that road and go south quicker. The benefits traveling from here to Louisville, here to Indianapolis, and other places are ranging from 1 to 3 minutes for this project. 1,500 plus acres, about half of that good farmland, 100 and something structures, people's homes. So I'm curious what your opinions are.
Well, I mean, we've had some groups come in and speak with us. We haven't had NDOT come in like they did the commissioners there, but my personal concern is the dollars. Totally, I just don't see how county government can afford to put the kind of money that they're talking about, and they're still talking about a 10%. I mean, I just don't see how that's even possible or feasible. And I mean, we're going to have with the changes in the legislature, we're just going to have a tough time without raising taxes to do the things we have to do for public service and for public safety. And so, I mean, that's why I'm totally against it at this.
Primarily financial reasons.
Right.
If the county had the money, that would be a change in your opinion?
I don't know if it would be a change in my opinion. I don't have it doesn't come through my property. And I really sympathize, and I try to attend some of the meetings and go out and talk to the neighbors that's being affected by this. I really, I feel very, it's upsetting. It's got to be upsetting to the families that own these properties. So, but to say it, I'm not sold on what you said. Are the exits, are the layout of this thing, is it going to help the county? So I live in a rural area of the county, and I would prefer it stay in rural.
Mm-hmm.
So all that traffic, you can't go down to Evansville and drive all kinds of cement roads.
Right. Well, from my view, if there was obvious justification for that road, I would say build. For me, 1 minute to 3 minutes savings in time. And by the way, right now it's only planned to go to the White River.
Right.
And there's not near enough work being done in Martin County. They're going through 231 upgrades in Martin County, which kind of feels like they want to build this 4-lane road in Du Bois County and then go through a 2-lane road to get up to
Which
69, just north of Crane.
which doesn't make sense
Yeah.
in a lot of respects.
Yeah. If there was obvious justification, from my view, I think there are many others in my position as well that would say, okay, what is that justification?
I mean, that's my opinion, that, being the financial fiscal body,
Sure.
I have to look at that first.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know that because I don't know if there is, this 10% number is going to happen. I don't, there is talk about services in kind and you have to take on 231 and all of the maintenance costs that will come with that and end up making some promises or commitments, what have you. But philosophically, it's the whole idea of the concept of the road. Yes, there's a financial piece, but the impact to the community, impact to the county, both in people's travel to and from and the risk that it creates to change what we have here. Quality of life in Du Bois County, I truly believe is at risk without obvious justification. Does anybody else have an opinion or?
Been against it for years now, openly. Originally, we were told that they were gonna improve 231. That's what it was originally the original plan was, I believe, 10 years ago or however many years ago it was. And then it just sort of shifted to this. I have gotten a lot of calls, a lot of emails, talked to a lot of people who are adamantly against it because it's gonna take a lot of their roads or their farmland, the accessibility going across it is gonna negatively affect safety and different services like that to get from one side to the other to the hospital, whatever. It's not anywhere close to where I live, but I don't feel that the gains would come anywhere close to be the negative effect that it's gonna have to the county, so.
Yeah, the RDA, the formation preceded my time on the council, but I'm fiscally and just what it would do to the county, I'm against it. I mean, it's kind of sold as like this growth, this growth mindset, growth, but I think maintenance and continuity should be prioritized. We're not trying to become Hamilton County. I worked there for 10 years. If you want to become a Fishers in Carmel, you destroy Du Bois County. And the fiscal strain, when I was a little kid, the national debt was $3 trillion. We're going towards 40 trillion. Maybe it doesn't matter anymore, but to me it does.
It does to me too. I'm not sure I agree with that position, but that's also a much bigger issue, but.
But the state doesn't even have budget surpluses anymore.
Right.
And they're talking about tolling interstates. So, I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah.
I live on the eastern part of the county, would be directly affected by that, meaning travel patterns, to and from work each day. So my concerns, I would share those, also a lot of the financial consideration, but even more so from the safety aspect. That would be something that my family members would have to cross every day. I feel we may be cut off, from the rest of the county by having that. So I wouldn't say that I would 100% support it or not, but even just not even having the option of an overpass over 164 is a concern of mine at this time, in addition to the financial ramifications.
Other thoughts?
Yes. Of course, the fiscal part of it, but then the destroying of the farmland. And then I know it was brought up already. I attended a couple of the meetings as well. You had said the safety, but like even like first responders, fire departments, the way they are changing and cutting off county roads, some of them are going to become dead ends. The J-turns, just everything. And I agree with what Doug said. It has totally changed from what it was sold as to begin with.
Mhm.
And I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's just gonna make it harder for the local citizens of the county, and I am totally against it.
I've done a lot of research. I'm probably the most recent council member representing here. I think originally with RDA, I think it was very well intended. I think we need to be proactively looking forward. And I think that's what the RDA was trying to accomplish, what is best for Du Bois County. So investing that initial money, while it preceded me, I think was an exercise worth doing, for looking forward. I have a major concern also on the financial aspect. Being on the county council, that's what we focus on.
Mhm.
So for that, I have the same concern. I did listen to the presentation that was done with the commissioners and, picked up some talking notes from there. I just don't know how well, or how easy that will impact us as Du Bois County. If the project continues, I'm looking for the softest financial landing that we can affect for the county. I'm not surprised at the development of that. I lived in Spencer County when they were doing some upgrades down there. And I know in the late 80s and early 90s, there was a map that went all the way up through Du Bois County, which always looks, really good for another county to be part of that connectivity. So I watched the old 231 develop into the Super 2 because of AK Steel, what that means there. And then again, and I know that when it went into that 4-lane highway, there were concerns because the interchange there for Heritage Hills High School was going to be an intersection. So we finally got that overpass there. So I'm not surprised about the continued, look at here, but the documents that I found back in 2011 echoed what the rest of the members are saying, that was intended to be more of an upgrade of the current 231. I know I have sat in Jasper at Parlor Donuts, and I've seen very wide, long trucks that they have to close down the intersection, the police do, in order for that to go through. I've witnessed that on more than one occasion. I know the city would like to see that go around, as city, and not have to put motorists at risk there. So I understand part of that connectivity to go around. And I also do want to give some credence to the major companies that employ so many people here in Du Bois County. Some of those companies have now sold, and that bothers me a bit on how our business infrastructure is. I think we need to be supportive of our business community as well. I know that they were part of partners in all of this from my research. So I think they were well intended as well. I'm not a fan of the route either. I find too many disconnects. And so that's where I am.
Yeah, I would echo a lot of that. I would agree. I think we got to listen to our businesses on a lot of these things that are investing a lot of money, because without them, Du Bois County would change. So if we're not at least listening to them and done the initial investigations to help keep us on the map, I think that's the big question. And I think we're so far apart that to think that we would raise a tax to cover this road, they're not going to get it from us. There's just no way. So they're going to have to figure it out. And, to think that we would take 231 in the condition it is, there's no way. So to me, we're so far apart with what they're asking. I don't know financially we can't.
Yeah. If you remove the financial piece of it, what is your?
What would I think? I would think if we had a ton of money sitting here, I would probably lean more towards going for it to satisfy some of our business needs around here to keep us on the map. I mean, when I look at a map and I see 69, 65, 64, we are completely surrounded. To have something come through, I would see value from a city growth, from a county growth. But there's also a ton of negatives, and it's hard to outweigh that. I wouldn't say that I'm 100% against it. And it's going through some of my family's lands too.
Mm.
But I personally just think the value of keeping these businesses, we don't have many more moving in here. And I like to keep the ones that we have. And if they're screaming to the wolves that we need a road, I think we need to hear it out and continue to work with them. And whether this is the best route, that I don't know, but we need to try to work with these businesses and figure that out. I think ultimately it's mostly out of our hands. We can give our opinion and we can give our support to things, but fiscally, which is what this body does, I don't know how they're gonna get it.
Mhm.
We don't have it.
Right. Well, I would encourage you all to stay close to it. I realize the financial side of it. I think you all have pretty good hands around what's there. I don't know how that negotiations are gonna go. I am concerned about the impact of quality of life in DuBois County. To me, I think you have to take the financial away. That's numbers. You can do that work here. But this whole idea of what it does to our community, I mean, we are a special place, in my opinion, and you guys have your own opinions. At some point, this is going to come to a decision. And I believe the 44,000+ residents of DuBois County have to be well represented through the council and through the commissioners. And, all I would ask is, and I don't know how you get your feedback. That's another question. It came to me in the commissioners meeting. I mean, we cannot have a referendum. There isn't a real tell us what you think method, besides the people that give you phone calls or send you emails that are out of the blue. And
I will add something to that. While unofficial, not in the way of a referendum, we have been going through a comprehensive planning. Our first in the county, we did receive a great deal of data and feedback. Some for, but I'd say largely against. So I just want to offer
That's
that
good.
as well,
That's
just so
great.
that
Right.
there's feedback that's coming through that pipeline as well.
Those groups had some county meetings, and I think they were promoting the idea of giving that feedback. Take the time to give the feedback, but not just about the road, but the whole quality of life issues here in the county and what's happening. So, and just to wrap up, it is going to come to a point. There is some significant sponsorship in Indianapolis, as you guys all know. There are a few businesses that have made it public that they see some benefit. There is 44,000 residents of the county, I think, have to be taken into consideration as well. Spent a long time with Kimball International, so you may or may not know that I have 35+ year career there before I retired. A lot of respect for that company and what was happening. Not sure where it's headed now. Would have been something I would have seen 10 years ago, but that's neither here nor there. And I'm not sure it was tied to whether we had a 4-lane road or not. I think it was more of investor kind of decision. So as it comes forward, I would just ask that you give some serious consideration and weight to quality of life in the county, as much as the financial. I know you will take responsibility for the financial side. And if there's anything that can be done to better understand the perspectives of the residents of the county, I encourage you to do that. Now, I don't have the answer. A referendum would be fantastic, but I know we couldn't do that.
I will add one last thing. While I do receive information or feedback from a lot of people that are against it, surprisingly, I get quite a lot of people that are for it. They're much quieter, and obviously
Sure.
So, there are both sides, and some of the feedback that I've received that want to see the state's corridor surprised me. I really did not expect that, but I have family too that have farm in the route, so I understand that.
Yeah.
Very much
The
understand that.
justification for it, if it was solid and, I think you would have a change in the county. You could see where it would be extending the life of the community or improving the quality of life. The lack of obvious justification is very difficult, I think, right now, from many perspectives. So thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you for
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate it.
So start down here. Sally, do you have anything else?
I have nothing else.
Tina?
Just let you know that I participated in the City of Jasper's think tank as part of their comprehensive planning. So I have a little bit of a preview of what we can expect as a county on how that flows. So it was very interesting.
Well, thank you for attending. Ron? Meredith?
I don't have anything to see.
Alex?
I went to the AES informational meeting and it was, it's okay. It was just a booth, couple booths set up and there was no presentation. It was kind of a stop and ask questions, set up, and I don't know how well it was received, but they had a pretty good turnout.
Is that the AES
Yeah.
solar park or the
Yeah,
battery?
the Crossvine, well, it was the Crossvine project, so I would say that they kind of had a booth for everything. They had one with the map layout of the acreage, and one with the battery storage system, and one with the panels, and pretty well attended, but I don't know that a lot came out of it.
Doug, do you have anything?
I went to an EMA meeting last week, and they talked about burn ban. They did get their SHSP grant money, the reimbursement of their pay.
Salary
Their
reimbursement.
salary reimbursement, yeah. And I forgot my actual notes, so I'm just kind of going off of what I remember. I mean, it's pretty much it as far as that goes. We talked about other grants that they're going to get, or going to try to apply for. It's just been tough with the availability and with getting them availability, so. but other than that,
Okay, thank you. Sandy, do you have anything additional? Otherwise, I don't have anything, no. So entertain a motion to close the meeting.
I'll make a motion.
A second.
First and second, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Okay, hope you all had a really nice Thanksgiving.
It's get cold. So it's.
People staying around here, or is anybody traveling, or going to? We're hosting on Saturday, so.